So there's this TikTok star named Dylan Hollis, a guy in his 20s from Bermuda, who during lockdown in 2020 started baking recipes from old magazines and cookbooks that he found. Some of these were just insane sounding, which is why he made them, like tomato soup cake, banana salad, even a SpaghettiOs aspic. But he found that some of these recipes really, really worked. Of course, many did not, and the failures were part of the joy of his videos. Still, he's published two really good cookbooks since then, highlighting desserts from the last 100 years. And I love baking, so I've enjoyed these books that Dylan has put out. But I've also loved learning about food trends from different eras. The Depression era was a wild ride food-wise because of shortages of supplies and money. But the 1950s and 60s were the space age. Food was powdered and packaged and processed. The jet set and imperialism brought us pineapples and bananas into popularity. Gelatin was, for some reason, a thing. In the 1980s and 90s, the idea of fine dining was still mostly in steakhouses, white tablecloths, and giant wine lists. A besooted waiter who clears crumbs before the pasta arrives. Even cooking shows before 2000 were about how to make shit for your family in a short time after work. We weren't talking about layering flavors. We weren't discussing plating or the Maillard effect. But in the 21st century, food went fucking crazy. And I think it was the internet. I mean, of course. But I think reality TV in the 90s led us to competition shows, which led us to Top Chef and the Great British Bake Off and Chopped, my favorite. And of course, diners, drive-ins, and dives, which taught us that what we already knew and what Dylan Hollis knows, that anyone can be a master chef if they cook lovingly and often. And people did. The cooking shows are devoted now to making like Michelin star looking food. And these things go wild, like plating and portions, balance and color, all of that. Even the fiction shows like The Bear take us deeper into the question of how do restaurant work. But the first fiction show I saw that rode this new trend of fine cuisine as edutainment was Hannibal. We don't get a lot of food in this, but the food we do is pretty vibrant. Those pork medallions in the berry reduction looked way better than fava beans. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
What is your ideal fancy dinner?
Ideal fancy dinner. Ooh, okay, it would be one of two things. It would be like 5 to 7 courses at a nice prefix restaurant with like one other person, like the tete-a-tete. Give me like 3 good hours with a very good friend, bottles of wine, et cetera, et cetera. Or I think it would be the 20 people at a really long table having a 6-hour meal.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter. Like, there's enough people there that you know some of them, you don't know all of them. You're jumping from conversation to conversation as the meal progresses.
Yeah. I love like the big group 6-hour meal. I always love doing our family dinners when we tour Night Vale. When we have a full night off in some city, we try and do a family dinner, and I usually try and get us a pretty nice place. Like it's not 3-star Michelin, but it's always like a try and do a nice
really
place.
Good though,
and it's really fun because we order like one of everything and share and have a great time and drink a lot of fancy cocktails and things like that. I definitely
makes you feel like a human.
Yes, yeah. I love a prefix. As our friend Dane Terry put it, he said, "You're a food bottom. Jeffrey, you're a food bottom. You want the chef to tell you what you're going to eat, and this is how you eat it." And I think he's right. I love that. But I'm very partial to the restaurants where I feel like I'm learning a little bit of something too. And, you know, these really, really expensive, fancy places that take a while to get a reservation, like Blue Hill at Stone Barns up here in New York, was a big one when I finally got to go eat there. Was great because they're telling you about the food that they make and they grow and they show you how they make their bread. It's crazy. It's really good. And I think in terms of affordability, I know I've mentioned this before, affordability, it's still expensive, but like not $500 a person expensive is Dirt Candy here in New York City.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. Symphony Sanders took me there.
Yeah.
And apparently she is the queen of dirt candy.
Oh, she is. They all know
every single
her there.
employee there.
Yeah, they all know her there. And it is great. Love that place. Well, We watched Hannibal, Cecil. This is
Yes, we
a
did. Just
it's
three
like a weird
episodes
nostalgia boost, I suppose.
for 10 years ago.
Right? Yeah, for oh god, like almost 13 now. Jesus Christ. This was from a personal point of view. Night Vale, Welcome to Night Vale started in 2012. And I think the popularity of it really, really took off our show in mid 2013.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like a weird flurry of suddenly people coming out of nowhere following us on social media and interacting with us. And I started hearing about Hannibal through that because I think it was a heavy overlap of Tumblr fandom of Hannibal and Welcome to Night Vale and many other things too.
Yeah, very the super hulocs of the internet.
I have not really avoided. I've just never. I don't even know what that term means. Super
It's
culottes.
Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, and this is, I just a term that I heard. I think you
Yeah,
could also layer in Pacific Rim and Hannibal on top of those
of course.
as, oh my gosh, these guys are so incredibly awkward. They must be gay for each other. Read my fan fiction.
Yeah, yeah. There's also something to this show, Hannibal and Sherlock, both, as you said right before we started recording, of like there's this autism kind of overlap sort of thing, this or neuroatypical main characters. And we definitely play with autism as superpower a little bit in this. And I really
Yeah.
don't have enough experience and knowledge about autism to tell you whether or not they do a good job in this show with that or not. But I will tell you, I think that Hugh Dancy does a great job with this character. I think he's really compelling and
Yeah.
really interesting. And Mads
But they
Mikkelsen is beyond fascinating.
but they really dialed it up
Yeah.
for the TV show.
Uh-huh.
Because, like in Manhunter, in, Silence of the Lambs, I would say that Red Dragon, it's this character has this ability to think like a killer.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
He just has that ability. Everybody accepts it. But in this one, I kind of like in the long format of a TV show, you can sort of play with both the positive and negative aspects of that.
Yeah.
So it's not just he can think like a killer. He's like in the world, killing the people as the killer did it,
Yeah.
which means that a lot of his coworkers think that he's potentially a killer.
Yes. And tying this to Sherlock, the Benedict Cumberbatch reboot of Sherlock Holmes that came a few years before this, maybe almost 10, like 2004, 2005,
Oh my
somewhere
gosh,
around
wasn't that
there.
early?
I
Yeah,
don't
this
know,
is
maybe
right.
it was 08 or 09, but it was but like playing with the idea of for our main detective character that time slows down and like math equations fly across the screen. And
Mm-hmm.
this one plays with that trope a little bit, but I love the added notion that he then becomes the killer in the
Yeah.
reenactment of his mind is a really great way of displaying that. The other thing I wanted to note before we started talking about these episodes, we watched the first 3 episodes, is how this show kind of straddles the line of the classic network murder of the week story
Yeah.
and the overarching you can't just drop in anywhere because there's going to be a main plot happening. And we've sort of like veered away from the killer of the week sort of mode now in prestige TV programming. We have a lot more. We still have that. I mean, it's just we have a lot more mini series. Here's 10
Sure.
episodes,
Yes.
and the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
season tells your story. Like you don't just say like, "Oh, I've never watched Pluribus. I guess I'll just drop in and see whatever. What's
Sure.
she up to tonight?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really think of the X-Files as being one of the kind of the last great TV shows to do that, where it was like you have your overarching plot for the season with the smoking man, but then every once in a while you just get an episode where Mulder and Scully go to a small town and meet something weird.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, chop it up somewhere in rural PA.
Yeah,
All right, episode 1, season 1, Hannibal Aperitif. I like the cute naming conventions of these
I know
episodes.
it's like for every episode too.
So we open with a crime scene in a home. There's blood splatter on a wall, there's a dead body, and we see the face of Hugh Dancy as Will Graham, our special investigator. He's not actually in the FBI, but he's brought in
Yeah,
as a special consultant because he apparently did not pass screening tests that
yeah,
would denote a
because they.
mental stability.
hmm So he's working for that tenure.
He is.
He's not there yet. He's really working hard for that tenure.
Tenure sounds really fucking dope. It also sounds way less stressful and uh, dangerous than being a fucking cop.
Maybe depends on
Maybe.
what kind of cop I would think.
Yeah. All right, so we get this like slowdown, and he kind of reenacts this scene. We watch him kind of move slowly in reverse. There's this like windshield wiper effect that I kind of love that happens when he goes into his brain. But he reenacts the scene and realizes that somebody like burst in, shot the husband coming down the stairs through the neck like with precision,
Yeah,
killing him not instantly, just long enough so we could see what else he was going to do. Then shot the wife in the neck as well, but paralyzed her.
yeah. Who she's like trying to turn off the alarm
She's trying to like call the
or call
alarm
the.
company. I'm like,
Okay,
girl, run.
right? Like she's like the 1495, 1954, one. I'm like, lady, get out.
I was in a public space once a long, long, long time ago. Uh, and there was it was in a mall, like, so like 1990s. I think somebody set off a firecracker
Oh wow.
inside the mall, and people scattered. It
Yeah, I
was
bet.
like coming on like a whole herd of deer, and like a noise startles all of them, and like it was just crazy
You
how
literally
we
saw
all
fight or
went
flight.
running. Yeah,
You saw fight or flight in real time.
yeah. And so I don't know why she's like, let me stop and pause at this alarm and see if I can call the company.
It seemed like the what is it, EDT or whatever is like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you a customer with us? Could you tell us your password? Oh, you're dead? Oh, I'm very sorry about that.
I'm very sorry. So we watch him kind of deduce, a la Sherlock Holmes, through his brainiac ways, that he figures out how this killer disarmed the security panel because he had already tapped her
Yes.
phone. He had created a previous false alarm there, recorded her voice through the phone lines so that he could play it back for them.
This is a very involved entry to a house.
It really is. And I noted that we don't really get it's this whole scene is there to set up Will Graham and his
Mhm,
deductive
mhm.
abilities so that we build the trust in him and we are impressed with his talents, but also curious as to like why does he envision himself as the killer. I love all of that as a character beat. But part of me is like, who is this fucking killer that can shoot a handgun with precision at
Right?
a moving target and know I've shot a fatal blow to this man's jugular, but I've only paralyzed a woman by shooting her in her
Yes.
neck.
It was the repeated use of the phrase "this is by design" that I
Who
was
is this
like,
killer? I want his
how do
show.
you know that? How do you know this? Because sometimes shit just happens.
Uh, this show is very intentional, and I love it. I love the care and the detail put into the art design,
Mhm.
the decor, the pacing, and the acting is incredible, and it's really really good. I think the character work in the show is really solid, but some of its intentionality, it's really trying to put a lot in, and so
Yes.
there's it gets a little clumsy with the plot because this is setting up a killer that I desperately need to know why. Who
Yeah.
who who was this like John Wick level assassin that came into these people's homes?
It's like John Wick meets the most intricate backstory.
Yes.
Because I really do have to wonder how many serial killers there are running around
Mm-mm.
that have this like house of cards psychosis architecture that they have to find people that all look the same and kill them in a very specific way because it reminded them of this thing. I kind of feel like sometimes people just go berserk,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I
But we're
agree.
not talking, this is not this show. That's Diners, Drive-In Dives.
Yes,
That
yes.
is for people who just go berserk. This is Hannibal, in which you have to have like a thesis report on
Yeah.
your psychosis.
Yeah. I really also noted the way in which this show straddles a couple of different eras of news culture, pop culture, things like that,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I mean, now we are into the AI era. So the notion of
Oh, yeah.
recording a phone call and using that voice back as opposed to just having an AI voice generator that you can train. But I think even at the time, him tapping their phone to record her voice is noting that we're still kind of in the writing, we're still living pre iPhone.
Yeah.
We're still, that still sort of requires a landline, I believe.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't believe the cell phone goes through the phone lines that are
No,
uh,
I don't think
throughout the
so.
neighborhood.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe I'm
But it's a
wrong about
much
that.
like that's the thing is like I go back and watch movies like kind of noir movies from pretty much the 80s or before.
Uh,
And I think in a lot of ways like the sort of the mystery kind of was a little bit better before cell phones
yeah,
because it's all legwork. Like it's very you're on the ground doing a thing, you're asking people about a thing, you're observing versus once you throw cell phones into the mix, it could be somebody in Dubai is trying to scam you out of money. And
yeah,
is this a part of it, or is this just an everyday occurrence inside this world?
yeah. Well,
It busts open the world too far.
yeah. I think the other way in which this movie kind of straddles different eras is that it's also still living in the serial killer era. Not to say that there are
Hmm.
not serial killers anymore. It's just to say that it's kind of changed. I think we saw a big
Mm-hmm.
change toward the mass killer in the 2010s,
Yeah, yeah.
the mass shooting era, particularly in to our non-American listeners.
Yes,
We
yes.
have this thing
We
called
were
Second
aware.
Amendment, and people can
We were
have
very
giant
aware.
gun stores. Uh, so yeah, I think the notion of this kind of specialized serial killer who
Yes.
leaves marks and things like that, and also just to talk about profiling because that's
Yeah.
what Thomas Harris kind of based a lot of the characters and stories on was the profilers, and I know Silence of the Lambs very particularly talks a lot about character profiling, and I think I'm not going to say law enforcement has gone away from that because I think they're deeply entrenched in
Hmm.
profiling, but there's a lot more conversation and studies around how profiling fails us too. So, anyways, I just found that really interesting.
Hmm. Yeah.
2013 was an interesting kind of crossroads time as technology was changing and conversations were changing because of the Twitter era, the era in which voices were heard and talked about their problems and issues. So he's back teaching his class at Quantico. He gets approached by Special Agent Jack Crawford of the FBI, played by Larry Fishburne.
Oh, yes. Full marks.
Yes.
He's a gold star actor
Hmm.
in that if he's in it, I will probably give it one more star than I would have if he was not in it.
Yeah. I really love his character, and I think it benefits that we have Lawrence Fishburne playing him, but I think it also benefits that he isn't in it much, but
Hmm. Hmm.
he gives us the aura of a man in charge of big things, an experienced man, a wise man, and a really caring person,
Hmm. Hmm.
but with a short fucking temper.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's perfect. There's not much to it, but he plays it to perfection. We have this early moment where he gets Will alone in the bathroom at this facility, at this university, at the school there. And another man walks in. He just turns. He's like, use the fucking ladies' room. It's just like, okay,
Oh shit.
damn.
Yeah.
And in two scenes with Lawrence Fishburne, we see where he is. Like we see the full spectrum of how he
But then
thinks.
also weirdly, he plays the like very like he's very sensitive about other things.
Yeah.
You know, like he it's a pretty well-rounded character in Mr.
Yeah.
Fishburne's hands.
So we're having an issue here in the FBI because we've got 8 different college women that have been abducted in the past while, all in Minnesota.
They all worked at Mall of America.
Yeah. And yeah, Will's like, they're all very Mall of America looking.
Yeah.
But they all are white women, roughly the same age, size, body shape, hair color,
Yeah.
etc. And we're trying to figure out like what his obsession with these women is. And Will is like, I don't think it's about all of these girls. I think it's about one of them. He's trying
Like,
to
yeah.
hide how special one of the girls is.
Yeah, like and one of them is either the first and he's trying to like find that high of killing that first girl that was so special,
Mm-hmm.
or he's leading up to her.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, Will's going to agree to deal with this. So we're off to Duluth, Minnesota.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, great. Yeah, hope it's summertime, you guys. So
Yeah.
they head off to Duluth and they meet. The last woman who was abducted was a woman named Elise. And they go to see her parents and talk to her. And Will gets this vibe because he asks, how is the cat? How's your cat doing? I saw you have a cat. I
Yeah.
don't know, fine. Are you asking about the cat? And he's like, was the cat weird the night your daughter disappeared? I didn't notice anything. He's like, oh, she came home, fed the cat, and then left here. So this house is a crime scene. And lo and behold, as they explore the house, they fucking find Elise in her bed.
What?
What?
Like this is such like grad school level serial killing, I guess.
Uh-huh.
You know, where it's like we're not looking for like the direct answer, we're looking for the tangential answer that might unlock the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wait, does it eat dry food or wet food? No, I need to know, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Or is it a combination? Are they fed on a schedule or is it free feeding? These are all very important FBI questions I have for you.
I couldn't help but to think about just the culture that we're in now, especially since really heightened since COVID, but all the way from like flat earthers to doing our own research about vaccines and being afraid of seed oils and shit like that is
Vitamin supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this that people are coming at well-established facts and knowledge from oblique angles. We're bringing in the deductive reasoning.
Yeah.
So thus the earth must be flat because of this one tiny little datum. And that's kind of what Will is doing here, although this show makes it fun to think that way.
Yeah.
But as a mode of always thinking that way,
I know, right?
that is dangerous fucking shit, which is why we are having conversations around police profiling and why we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Weird side quest. He finds a puppy. Does this come about in later shows? I don't know.
I think it's just his relationship with his dogs is very important to him
Yeah.
because he does not people very well.
No, he does not. So, we're also going to meet an FBI agent in forensics named Beverly Katz. And she is going to introduce the idea that in Elise's wounds, because I don't think we found any of the other girls. This is the only other girl that they found. And for some reason was killed and brought back to her bed.
Yeah.
So, Beverly says, oh, well, there's antler velvet in her wounds. So
Hot.
maybe he killed her with an antler?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I know that looks like her blood. It is her blood, but it's been removed, put through a Brita water filter and
Uh-huh.
put back in her.
Yeah.
Honestly, who has the time?
I, that's
Just buy it at the store. Just buy it frozen in the. It's who has the time?
my friend Bridget and I were hanging out, and she brought me from the bakery lift when there's a brought me a cannelé, and I've never had a cannelé
Oh,
before, and they're so good. It's such a tasty little pastry, and I went and looked up how to make a cannelé, and it requires these special copper molds that you
oh my
have to like
God.
season. And the blog I was reading said I seasoned mine with a certain type of beeswax that you can order here, and I'm like, oh no. And I
What?
was seeing like hours of preparation because there's
I
a
was like,
lot
it
of
sounds like a multiple day
it
affair.
is a hobby that you have to take up, and I decided I do not have the time.
No,
You know what's
I get it.
good? Butterscotch cookies.
Mm-hmm. Like, look at this pie.
Buttermilk
That's
pie.
yeah, this pie is ready in 1 hour if I
Yeah.
buy the crust frozen.
Yep. Okay, so we're kind of going through a lot of different ways of thinking about the case, because with Elise now we have an idea. With the
Yeah.
other women are all missing, but with Elise we notice like there's a lot of care put into the way he laid out the body,
Yes.
and there was no sign of sexual assault,
Hmm.
even though Will is like he loves these women.
Yeah.
Look at the way he put her back, and Jack is saying, well, but he didn't like touch her in any violent, aggressive way. He's like, that's because he respected her.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves her. But what they realize is in the autopsy, they had cut out the liver, but then put it back in.
Okay.
And Will is like, oh, there was something wrong with the meat.
Yeah.
And the doctor, I forget his name, but he's our informant doctor, as we learn later, who's been talking to the tabloid lady. But um, you know, Doctor Weird Doctor is says
Is this
it's like,
Scott
oh
Thompson?
no, not Scott Thompson,
Oh,
but I
okay.
love
I'm
that
sorry.
Scott Thompson is in this, buddy. So no, the other doctor guy who says, yeah, well, she had liver cancer. I'm like,
Ah, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
he's eating them. That's what's happening.
Oh,
Oh,
you went right to cannibalism. I mean, I guess that makes sense
sure.
because I was watching this and I was like, I wonder if you could taste the difference.
It's a good question.
I did not even know what the search terms would that be on Google, and
Yeah,
do I want to put that information
you definitely
attached to
want
my
to
name out
go
there?
incognito mode for that search,
Yeah,
I think.
but it did kind of make me wonder, like, I don't know, would that affect the taste of it?
It's such a good question. I really do not know. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna. I don't think there's anything to add talking about Alana Bloom. She kind of pops up in this show, but like in these first three
Hmm. Hmm.
episodes, all we know is she is a psychologist
Yes.
who does. I guess she administers these like tests for the FBI to see if people are
Hmm.
mentally stable enough. But she doesn't want to work directly with Will, because of whatever their relationship is, that they have to work together at the school. So she passes him off to her pal,
Yeah.
psychiatrist Hannibal Lecter.
Aw,
Oh, it's so nice.
I love a referral.
I do love a good referral. And listen,
Listen, a good referral makes all the difference in the world.
therapists are tough to find. I know a lot of people who do not do therapy but have tried because they went through three different therapists and just never found one that really
Oh
worked
yeah.
for them, and you just get frustrating.
And I listen, one of my therapy journey here in Asheville, I went to one therapist. I went to one session, and then in session number two, she's like, I am not the person for you. You
Mm.
need, after hearing about what you need, I'm going to write down a very short list of names.
Oh, that's
And I,
nice.
yeah, like I said, I love a good referral.
And you got a good referral out of that.
And yeah, and I've been with that new therapist like ever since
Great.
because I appreciate that therapist being, I'm this is not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be the best tool for you.
Yeah. I had a therapist for a few years that I finally switched off of it because I didn't feel like she was just ultimately I was like, I'm getting nowhere with this person. She was a
Mm-hmm.
very like quiet type.
Yeah.
And it was only until later that I realized like she was really like Mr. Miyagiing me. Like I was
Okay.
just doing a lot of like painting fences and waxing cars and
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
none
Yeah.
of this is helpful. And then years later, I think about it, I'm like, that was really helpful. The way in which she gave me the space to talk and think
Nice.
about what I was
Yeah.
doing. So, anyways, R.I.P. Melissa, you were a good therapist. I didn't realize it at the time.
Put her out back in the therapy
Yeah,
cemetery.
that's right. Yeah, no, she's with a good family upstate.
Mhm.
All right. We're also going to learn about this website, tattlecrime.com.
Ooh, a website, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm. A blog, a weblog,
A weblog.
a weblog.
I've heard of those.
Uh-huh. Run by Freddie Lowndes, I think is her name.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Yes. Yes.
meet
Yes. Yes.
her just yet, but we do know that photos of Elise's body were somehow taken and posted online. We're going to learn later that the doctor that said, oh, she had liver cancer was the one that was her informant inside the FBI, which in my mind is bad.
Yeah. Like, is your paycheck really that small that
Yeah.
you're like selling information to a blog?
Yeah. Okay. And also, what is this blog's budget?
Yeah.
Because that blog
I think
has
when
no
we
ads
do,
on it. What is your monetization
I
of
think when
your
we do meet
content?
this character, she is like the most put together, like everybody else. And that's another thing to talk about in this TV show is everyone has a ridiculous outfit budget.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like people that it doesn't make sense for them, they have a ridiculous outfit budget. Some more ridiculous than others. And I think Freddie Lounds is one of those where you're like, she's wearing like kid leather gloves to
Yeah.
just to like get her mail or something like that. So I have to imagine this. She's probably independently wealthy and she likes dead things.
Yeah. There's a I thought about the TV show Dexter, which is another show we
Hmm.
had talked
Hmm.
about for this, which is psycho killer TV show.
Hmm.
And Dexter to me always felt like a comic book, like a horror comic. It was very colorful, very
Yeah.
splattery, very salacious. The dialogue, the characters, everything was very over the top in a comic booky sort of way. And then Hannibal to me is a noir graphic novel.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's a
No, totally.
little bit more put together. It's slicker. It's tighter. Um,
But
the color
yeah,
palette is more stark.
it's more metropolitan.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like it definitely is. These people give dinner parties.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
people are on the board of directors for things.
Hmm. That's my favorite nonprofit, Directors for Things.
Directors of things.
Directors of Things. Yep.
Here's my card.
Yes. I donate a lot of money every year to kids who aren't doing well.
Hmm. Hmm.
.org.
Do better, planet. That's my environmental charity I'm starting.
Okay, well, this whole thing kind of breaks open. This case breaks open when there is another body discovered, but it is a girl in a field mounted on a decapitated stag's head. It's very
Hmm.
stylized.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful, like, gory, but like, or not, it's not even gory. It's just like disturbing photo,
Yeah.
but beautifully crafted. I did not, for the sake of YouTube, want to use it as my background for this, but
Why
it
not?
was, it's, we're like, oh shit, the Minnesota Shrike, as we learned the serial
Hmm.
killer's name
Hmm.
is, Shrike after the bird, which puts its victims on spikes and then
Yeah,
eats
like
their
nails.
organs.
It's like a Vlad the Impaler bird.
Yeah. But yeah, this girl has been mounted up. And Will, it's like, we all come to a pretty quick conclusion that this must be a copycat killer.
Yeah.
Because they're using stuff we know about the Minnesota Shrike, but this isn't his MO.
Like the outcome is different. Yeah. I mean, somebody's dead, so I guess it's not too different, but
yeah,
the how they get to be dead is pretty different.
The question I had was, and maybe I missed something, but of the 8 women that went missing, we started with Elise was found. And my impression was the other 7 we haven't found.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Because the implication that we're going to see by episode 3 of the show is the killer used every part. Like, he respected the life of the living creature. And so those bodies were not to be found. So I don't know how they know that this is not his MO, because all they have is Elise's body. And then they have this one. Anyways, it just feels a little clunky.
It just feels flashier.
Yeah.
Like, this is a body that is meant to be found. And you go, oh, versus the other ones are not meant to be found.
That makes sense.
And the one that is returned is very modest in its presentation.
And they note that this woman's lungs were cut out and not returned. And then we cut to a shot of Hannibal in his home wearing a suit and an apron, chopping these fucking lungs like there's they're just so much cabbage,
Yeah.
I also love this dynamic between Will and Hannibal, as Hannibal psychoanalyzing Will, or not psychoanalyzing, but like getting into Will's head, and it's really bothering Will. He does not like being told, hey, this is what you're like, this is how you are. There's a moment when he says, don't psychoanalyze me, you won't like me when I'm psychoanalyzed. Great. Is that a Hulk? That's a Bruce Banner line, right? You won't like me when I'm angry. I also love when Jack is asking Will, this must be a copycat killer, right? And Will's like, I don't know. Go ask your new boyfriend. I don't care. Like, he doesn't say that exactly, but that's the tone.
Yeah.
Well, we are now getting into the fact, we have a little piece of evidence in that there's some like metal shavings that they find in this woman's hair. So now we realize, she's been at a construction site.
Oh.
So we head to a construction site. We're going through piles of employment records.
Fun.
And what sets Will's alarm off, there's one guy who doesn't leave an address. He just has a phone number on his file.
Okay, sure.
That seems like weird that's what sets you off.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, I just was thinking about the years I've worked in some form of like database, working in box offices for years. Just, man, people do all kinds of weird shit with them.
You're like, I don't know, they filled out a flyer at an event. I can't read this. I don't know. I'm just not going to put it on there.
Somebody one time in the email field of like buying something online, and their thing was like, they just wrote "leave at will call" in the email field, which was very exciting.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, people do weird shit all the time.
Yeah.
But this is what tips him off. So they're like, all right, this is Garrett something Hobbs. Garrett Jacob Hobbs is our guy's name. And Hannibal gives Garrett a little call. He's like, hey, they know. See you later.
What?
And when they arrive at Garrett's house, he's already killed his wife.
Damn.
And he's got his daughter at knife point. And Will fills him full of lead.
Yeah.
And they save this girl's life. But she's in a coma.
Yes.
What do we make?
I think she's going to turn out just fine.
Oh, she's fine. Yeah, she's alive.
I think she'll be just fine.
Yeah. She's a perfectly normal girl.
She'll be great. She'd like give her a flute, or I don't know, get her really into like
get her into band
geometry or something, and she'll be all right.
So before, while they're getting this girl all fixed up, or stopping her, staunching her bleeding is the more precise way of saying that.
Okay, gotcha.
While they're staunching the bleeding of this girl in this kitchen, Will looks over at Garrett's body, and he is, in Will's imagination, talking to him. And he's like, "Don't you see? Don't you see?" I don't.
I don't know.
I don't
mean,
know.
which is like kind of a line taken directly from Red Dragon.
Uh-huh.
So again, it's like I don't know. I appreciate the like we're taking the source material and we're sort of like I don't know. We're we're doing a chopped challenge. So you get like
Yeah.
certain words and phrases and ideas, but retwirl it into a dessert
Yeah.
with raisins.
Yum.
Hmm.
Raisins and mayonnaise. Those are my two favorite
Yeah.
things. So, the kind of the very end of this, we go back to Alana Bloom, the psychologist. She's a little upset at Jack being like, "Hey, you told me Will wasn't going to get too close," and he looks a little fried. And our final shot is Hannibal sitting in the hospital room next to Abigail, as we learn her
Mhm.
name. Abigail's body, sleeping body. The end.
Yeah.
Episode 2, Amuse Bouche.
That means happy mouth.
It does mean happy mouth.
I want that happy mouth.
I've always just said glory hole is what I call that course.
Yes. Oh, do we get a glory hole with this? Is this the happy ending or is this the happy beginning?
Cecil, there's a chain of family restaurants in New England, Massachusetts, called Friendly's.
Yes, I've heard of Frenzies. Yeah.
It's very much in your IHOP
It's a
vein.
Perkins. It's a
Yeah.
a burger kind of burger joint.
Burger
diner.
joint, breakfast joint, all that kind of stuff. Very like, for me, growing up in Texas, it would have just been like where you go after church.
Mhm. Yep.
Anyways, they
What's on their menu, Jeffrey?
for
What is
kids
it?
for their dessert menu, it's not called desserts. It's called happy
Okay.
endings.
Yay!
And I
want a
remember when I
happy-
first moved to Massachusetts, I'd never seen a Friendly's before, and I saw Friendly's, and there was a movable type sign out front that said "free happy ending with every kid's meal."
like that is so many levels of wrong
Uh-huh.
that I can kind of see how they would make that mistake.
Yeah, and I don't know if they still call it that or not, because I feel like that it probably just didn't make its way into the vernacular. It's kind of like glory hole. Like it's
Yeah.
just you're missing where this word has sort of like taken on a different meaning these days.
And I think before the internet, it was much easier for sheltered rich people in the corporate world to make these mistakes
Yes.
that are not frequenting glory holes or or maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't know what it's called.
Tell that to the Cleveland Steamer Corporation.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, episode 2, Amuse Bouche. Will is having a lot of PTSD kind of flashbacks to killing Garrett, to shooting him
Yeah.
full of lead. But now we're gonna see into the life of Garrett Jacob Hobbs and his daughter Abigail in the woods hunting a deer. And then he has his own stabbing cabin. He's got,
Yeah.
literally 4 stabbing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got this cabin in the woods that it's filled with like animal parts, taxidermied things, because he believes in using all of the animal. That's the way we show that we loved it. Because we eat
Okay.
all the meat and we use all the bones. We make knives out of the bones or
Oh,
tools.
yeah.
We make pelts and pillows. Ugh.
I made a fleshlight out of wine. We use it all, Jeffrey. And we use it for many purposes.
Ellen DeGeneres had a great joke back in her stand-up days about taxidermied things on the wall. She said, "I'll never understand people who put like animal heads on their walls, and they'll say things like, it's because I think it's such a beautiful creature." And she's like, "I think my mom's beautiful, but I have photos of her." But the worst one was I was at I went to this like bar and grill place, and there was a moose head on the wall. This giant, beautiful moose head, and somebody had just like, there's like a party hat and on its
Oh,
head,
yeah,
and
classic.
streamers coming off of it. And I'm looking at this moose head, and I'm like, oh God, what a shame. That poor moose was at a really fun birthday party.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he looked over and said, "Who invited the guy in the orange jacket?" And that's the last thing that he ever had.
That's it.
Anyways, fucking stabbing cabin. We now know that Abigail is somehow tied into his thing, to Dad's,
Yeah.
whatever Dad was doing. Maybe she's just tied into the hunting. But
Because
Jack,
she is a brunette of the same age, of the same type as all the girls who were killed.
yeah. And Jack Crawford at the FBI is like, "I still think she's a suspect."
Mm.
And Will and Alana are like, "No, that poor girl, she's so sweet."
Talking about profiling.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're an innocent young thing. You must be a good person."
Uh-huh. Okay, there's also, we find evidence of, there's a woman's hair that they find at the cabin scene as well. And then we cut to, this is our first time of meeting Freddie Lowndes of TattleCrime.com.
Yes.
The moment we meet her, she is sitting naked at her computer updating her website.
You know, like it's like Sex in the City, you know?
Yeah.
She's
I mean, I wear a shirt for this podcast, but that's it.
I listen
Full Winnie
for
the
the
Pooh.
podcast. I put on a shirt for the podcast.
Yeah.
For the other podcast, sometimes
Sometimes you don't have to.
it's come as you are.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
There
come
is
as you
no
are Friday.
there is no video of Welcome to
Nope.
Night Vale podcast recordings.
Nope.
Okay, so this is going to be kind of an ongoing thing throughout this episode, which is that Freddie Lowndes is pretty invasive.
Yeah.
She is unethical. She is pure chaos.
Mm-hmm. If it bleeds, it leads.
That's right. Okay, so the first we see of that is Will is with Dr. Lecter,
Mm-hmm.
and they're having a therapy session. But it's really just Lecter saying, "Hey, listen, I think you're fine. I will just rubber stamp this so you're allowed to go back in the field. Jack wants you to go through a full psychoanalysis. Rubber stamped, you're all good."
I think that's a ploy.
What
do you
think
think?
it might
What
be.
do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think I've never seen any of the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Yeah.
He's like the good guy, right? Like he's like the super
Yeah.
smart, helpful one.
And he's also really doesn't care about details.
No. No.
Like he's like, listen, I got a thing I got to go to in like 45 minutes. So we're just going to
He's like
say we did a full session.
He's like our master Splinter here. Like he's just like, I think he's just like a wise old man.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where he's, in talking to Will about whatever he's going through, and they're having this back and forth. At the end, when Will leaves, he's got his new patient waiting for him, Freddie Lowndes. But she is going under the name Miss Kimball.
Oh, yeah.
And he sniffs her out fast. And it's like, give me I'm here, right? Did we already, this is right? Or did we, hold on, let me make sure I didn't jump ahead.
I think so.
Oh, no. She's going to do something else first. I'm sorry, before I jumped ahead. What we're going to see first, before she even does that, we're going to see a bunch of kids find a bunch of bodies in the woods. That's our first commercial break.
Great.
Teen boys find bodies in very shallow graves, hooked up to all kinds of tubing with mushrooms growing out of them.
That's right. Yes.
Very hydroponic garden sort of thing. And it's not hydroponic, but it's, mushroom. Somebody has built a mushroom garden out of human bodies. Um, but it's at the crime scene wherein they're trying to figure everything out, and Freddie Lounge shows up, poses as one of the mothers of the boys so that the police officer on duty, the FBI agent on duty, will tell her information about what's going on and even let her close to the crime scene where she can take photos. So yeah, so she is uncouth Cecil.
I love a morally ambiguous character.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I don't know, I can do it, right?
Yeah,
No one's going to stop me.
yeah.
Then I'm going to do it.
So this is then when she sees Will kind of going
She's
into
like,
his
"Ooh,
trance state. Time to
he's
see the
crazy.
crime.
He's crazy.
Um, Also, one of the bodies is still fucking alive.
Okay, now what? What?
This kind of doesn't go anywhere. It's just there for the scare, right?
I guess. Like, I think it's like a sort of a facsimile of seven of the
Yeah,
body that is being purposefully kept alive.
yeah,
But we look at it and go, Jesus Christ, that is a corpse. Oh,
yeah,
nope, that is a non-corpse yet.
yeah. We're not recovering this life.
Yeah. Maybe the mushrooms taste better when they roam on living human flesh.
Yeah, maybe. Like, wasn't that the premise of what was the '90s movie, The Last Supper? Is that's
Yes.
all the liberal college kids inviting all the
Yes.
conservative talking heads and killing them and
Yeah.
planting a organic garden from their bodies?
Yeah. But that's composting. That's like a whole different thing.
That's just composting. Okay. So this is then when she poses as a person seeking a new therapist, goes to see Dr. Lecter, records from the doorway his conversation with Will. And then when she gets in there, he's like, hey, so doctor patient confidentiality goes both ways. So here's the thing. Erase your fucking thing. Delete the conversation you recorded. Yeah. And also he's implying I'm not gonna tell on you.
Yeah.
Just we're gonna have to come to some agreement. What he leaves it with, you've been very rude, Miss Lowndes. What's to be done about that?
Ooh, I like how sort of BDSM coded all this language is.
Okay. Let's see. Let me jump ahead to the thing. In the lab, looking at these bodies that they found out there, they realized that whoever was doing this was keeping them all alive, but they all eventually died of kidney failure.
Sure.
So Will is like, oh, he induced a diabetic coma by feeding them strict sugar water to enrich the soil because that's what mushrooms live on. I'm like, who are you? What is happening?
How do you know this? Not only how did you think of that, but how did you have that knowledge ready to lock and load?
How
and I'm
are you
beginning to understand why your coworkers are like, oh, you're sitting over there? I gotta.
Oh, I'm gonna eat at my
do a
desk
thing.
today.
Yeah, long day.
Okay, well then we cut to grocery store pharmacy, and this doctor, because the question was like, how is he finding his victims? Because he is looking for, I guess the idea that Will comes to is that he's seeking out diabetic people.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wants to put them into that diabetic coma. Or like, how is he just finding diabetic people?
Yeah.
Cut to pharmacy. Pharmacist filling a prescription for this woman. He's like, oh, we got the wrong one. I'll just grab the correct bottle. And you see him grab a different bottle and hand that off to her. And he finishes with saying, and that's your correct address on the receipt there?
Yes.
And the SWAT team immediately shows up at that fucking Ralph's. Yeah. And But he got away because he had been checking his website at work, and tattlecrime.com had already put up this whole story about how they're
They've been
on to.
scooped.
They got scooped. They're on to Eldon Stimmitz, I think is his name.
Yes.
So that's unethical journalism, one. And two, that fucker in the FBI feeding her this information.
I know,
Like, why? What is your... What do you gain? Do we learn what he gains? I don't know. We only watched 3
Are you
episodes.
like a disgruntled employee? Like, do you
Maybe.
need the money?
Okay. But his car is still there. They bust open his car, and in that trunk, it is just filled with soil.
Oh, cool.
Cecil, that
Mhm.
car will not drive with that much soil in
Probably
the back. I had when I lived upstate, I had a Ford F-150.
How many bags of mulch could you fit in?
Well, we went once. I learned my lesson in buying mulch is that you put in a half-ton pickup.
Mm-hmm.
You put in a half-ton of mulch. That's not very much mulch.
Yeah, I know,
Like
right?
I got halfway up the bed of the truck of layers of mulch, and it was already sagging back there. Like, I mean, the truck drove fine, but you could see how much that weighs, the effect on its shocks. And this guy's driving a fucking Lincoln Continental. The truck is built to handle that much weight. Anyways, that's all I'm saying. I don't think this car could have driven with
Just because
that
it
much.
can doesn't mean it should.
Right. Okay. So let me skip ahead. Let me make sure I'm jumping ahead. There's so many things happening in this show. Oh, FBI goes to Ms. Lowndes' hotel room, handcuffs her, is like, you were at a crime scene under false pretenses.
Yeah.
You can't arrest me for lying. That's technically legal. That guy showed me what was up. You lied about it. It's not, that's fine. You can do that.
You're like, lying is not illegal.
Yeah.
You guys.
And then he says, but I can place you at the Shrike's Nest in Minnesota, wherein you took photos of the crime scene. And that is obstructing justice. And I can have you put in jail for that. And she says, I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that.
Fair.
Oh, here's the guy's name. Zeller is the name of the informant within the FBI.
Okay.
Dr. Bad Doctor. And Zeller leans into Freddy and says, you used me.
What?
What? For what? Like, what did she... I don't know. Okay. So, the cop comes to the FBI agent, comes to Freddy's motel and confronts her. He's like, girl, you're getting me fired for this. She said, I know lots of people in private security. It even pays better. He says, well, this seems to tell me you've gotten cops fired before.
Yeah, probably.
And at this moment, Stamets shows up and just shoots him through the head.
Oh, damn.
And tells Lowndes, I read your article. I need to find Will Graham.
Oh.
Things happen so fast.
They do.
In this episode. What do we think? Like, what's going through this man's mind at this point? Because he is like, he needs to show Will how to grow mushrooms from dead bodies. And if Will could allow him to use Abigail's body to grow mushrooms, then Will would really understand her.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
I guess. Like, Will is the only person who could possibly understand why he's doing this.
Yeah.
But he needs to, like, take it a step further, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, that's basically what happens is that Lowndes tells Jack Crawford he was looking for Will because he wants Abigail. And they're like, all right, Will, that dude is at the hospital. He's going to be taking Abigail. And he tries to take her, but Will shoots him. but this time just in the shoulder, not, he does not kill him. And then Stamets goes through that whole ordeal of, if I could have turned her into mushrooms, you'd solve everything, and you'd really get to know her.
You'd eat a really, really amazing risotto too.
Oh my God. Fucking love a wild mushroom risotto.
Yeah.
But at the end of this episode, it's Hannibal talking to Will about how Will keeps seeing Garrett Hobbs everywhere, the Minnesota Shrike. And he's like, I don't think it's Hobbs that's haunting you. I think what's haunting you is the feeling that killing a man could feel so good.
What?
You're secretly a killer, Will. You're
opening
up something.
Are you serial killer grooming me? Because I didn't think about this before, but now I am, and it's the only thing I can think about.
Yeah. This weird line where he says, Will says, I should have stuck to fixing motorboats in Louisiana. You're from Louisiana, sir?
I guess so.
Not hearing that, but yeah. Maybe just like
backstory.
Went to LSU and you had a summer job. I don't know.
I suppose.
But yeah, and Hannibal says, well, that makes sense. Boat motors are fixed circuit, like they're easy problems to solve because there's no complexity other than what's in the circuit itself. And I do like this idea of Hannibal saying to him that he said, it's like killing seems like it would feel good because why else would God do it? God loves killing people. It must feel great to feel so much power.
Now we're bringing God into this?
Got all churchy on us, Cecil.
Like, do you think Hannibal Lecter is like an atheist, a non-atheist?
My idea would be, I think in this idea of God, just God.
Yeah.
Would be that there is a higher power, a belief in a higher power, but not a specific worship of said higher power. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because, Hannibal Lecter is, like there has to be a pecking order.
Yeah.
Like Hannibal Lecter really operates best when it's like, no, I'm up here. The rest of the world is down here. So I'm just a little bit closer to there has to be a hierarchy.
Yeah. Episode 3, Potage.
That means pottage.
Oh my God. I got ahead of myself earlier when I said at the beginning of episode 2 that we had Abigail and Dad in the woods. It's episode 3 where we get that scene.
Yeah, because we kind of get to her in this episode.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah, and he is butcher grooming this daughter of his, of like, this is how you fucking cut it open. Don't damage the organs. You'll ruin the meat, blah, blah, blah.
But that also seems like not unnormal.
No, it's definitely like a dad taking his child and like, I want you to do the same hobby that I have. I really want you into this sport.
Yeah.
But this is all kind of a flashback for her. It's all in her head of remembering these things because as she's like as she's cutting open the deer, it cuts to her hands touching the fur, and then her hands are touching what look like human hair, and then it pulls back and you see a woman's body.
So maybe she knew.
She wakes up in that hospital screaming. Yeah. Well, Abigail woke up, you guys. Now it's time to decide what to do with this girl.
What should we do with her? I'm like, just get her into like, quiz bowl after school. She'll be, who doesn't like, it'll be great.
Listen, I have found that learning how to solve the Rubik's Cube has been a great stress reduction for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I would, you know what? Just
harmonica.
Don't sweat the small stuff is what I would tell this girl.
Yeah.
Just like relax. Have fun. Go get a pizza.
Yeah. Chill out, man. Chill out, dude.
Oh, God. I should go into therapy. Like, I should become a therapist.
The Bart Simpson School of Therapy.
Okay, so we have a couple schools of thought. Jack is like, we can't just turn her loose in the world. She's a suspect. And I think we need to keep her in the hospital to keep an eye on her. Alana's a little bit like, yeah, I don't really want to expose her to this whole crime stuff yet
Yeah.
because I think she's fragile. And ultimately, where they decide is we'll just let her go home, but we'll keep an eye on her. And that seems like a horrible idea.
Like that's like the worst of all the options.
Yes.
Because like her mom is dead, dad is dead.
Yeah.
So she's just like a 15-year-old
Just
completely emancipated,
yeah,
like
yeah.
not getting any kind of care or check in from
No.
anybody.
Also, um, when Alana interviews her, Abigail initially doesn't remember the day that her mom and dad died. She doesn't remember
Mhm.
that super well, but it's like all coming back to me, sort of thing.
Mhm.
But when she learns what she kind of already knew, that both her parents were dead, she said, "Who buried them?" Well, he said, "Well, your mom wanted to be cremated, so she was. And your dad is complicated. Why? Because he's crazy? Oh, say more."
Yeah, yeah. Why would you describe your father as crazy?
Hmm. But yeah, something about Abigail sits a little weird. Like, she doesn't seem like
Hmm.
a normal girl who has just been orphaned by a
Yeah.
bloody assault in her house by her father.
Again, it's the whole like just be I don't know, maybe people react differently. And when they react differently to things, you go, oh,
Yeah.
suspect.
The one character beat for Jack Crawford that I questioned was he seemed like a strong enough. I know that he cares what Will and Hannibal and Alana all think, but also he's a pretty headstrong person. He
Mhm.
kind of gets what he wants. And it struck me as odd that he couldn't just get, we have to have some tighter form of arrest on this girl. Because if she is a suspect or person of
Yeah,
interest, I
yeah.
don't want her out of my sight. I also don't want her fucked up either.
Mhm.
But we have to come to some solution, and they as you said, they find the worst possible solution for a girl in this
Like we'll just
situation.
send her home.
Yeah. Um, Lowndes sneaks in and talks to Abigail, so she's already like stirring that pot. She also goes to talk to this man Nicholas, who is the brother of the woman who was impaled on the antlers in the field in episode 1. And she's got this guy all fucking stirred up. That girl came out of that. The daughter came out of the coma, and she's a suspect by the FBI of
Oh
like being
yeah.
part of the killing and yada yada yada.
I mean, I've met her. She's you know,
Woohoo! Yeah,
yeah, stabby.
yeah, she's Doritos Locos. Yeah. Okay. Also, let's see here. Let me jump to. God, there's so much mystery stories. There's so much things. So
But
many
it's also like
stuff.
this it's all psychological. So
Mhm.
like we're getting little tiny psychological cues
Yeah.
rather than a like plot.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's time to take Abigail home. Somebody has spray painted cannibals on the family
Oh,
garage.
yikes.
Alana's like, if you want to go, we can go. No, this is where I live. I'll do it.
Hey.
Um, she turns to Will and is like, "Oh, so you pretend to be killers in order to solve crimes? You pretended to be my dad. What was that like?" Like, Jesus Christ.
That sounds like kind of a cool job.
Yeah. Um, and then I do love this that she says we should reenact it here. Abigail's like, why don't we just do a reenactment? Like, Will, you be my dad, and turns to Hannibal. Why don't you pretend to be the guy who called on the phone, who tipped him off?
Is this like inside the actor studio? Is this like the Stella Adler Conservatory of Killers?
And Abigail is worried that she like caught madness from her father.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that possible? And Alana says, oh, there's a concept called Folie à Deux, which is a really shitty Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is a French term meaning madness for two. Like, it's a shared madness.
It's an a la carte madness.
It's an a la carte. It's a phenomenon where we see people sharing the same kind of like crazy, basically. Even though it's not possible to catch crazy, but that's the way in which we kind of start having like group hysteria.
Like, like I poop into your mouth, and then you poop into my mouth, and it just goes back and forth forever. Mm-hmm. And that's what love is.
It is. Okay, I want to see now, like the rest of this episode, this last half of this episode, it's so batshit. This is one of the most batshit 25 minutes of TV I've ever seen. In that so much is happening. Like, it's not crazy, but it's crazy. So
because it's like we're now going to enter the hallucinatory phase.
And also, like, just the plot mechanics of the last half of this episode are fucking bonkers. So Marissa shows up. That's Abigail's friend from high school. Mm-hmm. We're kind of getting the chat about like, oh man, it went crazy when your parents died and you went to the hospital. I'm so glad you're okay. My mom doesn't want me here talking to you because like it's just like the news media were crazy about this whole thing. Nicholas shows up and is like, you fucking killed my sister, you cannibal, freako. And you were the bait. Your dad used you as the bait to lure these girls out into the field. And
she's like, no, well, probably. Wait,
I don't know.
Maybe?
And Marissa, being a good friend, picks up a rock and just knocks him right in the fucking head with it. And he fucks off. Because also he sees the cops coming out of the house.
Yes.
And Marissa's mom being like, why are you here? Go home. Now we go to the stabbing cabin out in the woods. And this is where Abigail says, as she's kind of like talking about how dad wanted no parts to go to waste. This is how he, every little bone and hair and whatever. Oh, if he was killing those girls, he was using every part. He was feeding them to us, wasn't he? Probably. Hannibal's like, that's very likely.
Did your dad ever get you like a purse or a belt or a lamp for Christmas, maybe over your birthday or anything like that? Maybe like a nice necklace, like a little. It's not pearl, but it's like something very small and hard and white.
Yeah,
made of beads, anything like
that. Do you have a necklace made of teeth?
Yeah,
just anything.
Yeah, just whatever.
She also says, right before my dad cut my throat, when he was being like, after he killed mom and he's got knife to my throat, and he's like, hey, I killed all those other girls so I wouldn't have to kill you. But now, be quiet. I'm gonna take you to a better place. But then blood drips on her head here in the stabbing cabin. They go upstairs, and fully rigged up in some antlers is Marissa's dead body.
Okay.
And it's very clear to this point that of the 8 college women that died leading up to Elise in episode 1, that Garrett Jacob Hobbs was the killer of all those women. But probably maybe was selling meat to Hannibal. And Hannibal killed Nicholas's sister put her up on the antlers
Yes.
because we see him cutting her lungs, but he did that to kind of get the case kind of wrapped up. He needed that case ended.
Yeah.
We need to put a bow on this case and be done with it. But he's also but also he's making things way more complicated because then he goes and kills this girl in order to frame Nicholas. I'm like, that's not going to hold up.
I love how it's like a very small village that these people live in.
I love that
You
he
know?
has time to do all this shit.
That's the other thing. I'm like, who has the time? Listen, I love a croissant. I love a freshly baked croissant. But I'm not trying to start that shit 48 hours in advance.
No, it's
Because
so
you have to
much
plan.
work. Yeah.
I have a life. I mean, I want the product. That's why you build up relationships with other people who are specialty purveyors.
Yeah. Last night for dinner, I made just a lemon and garlic pasta and grilled a salmon, and the whole thing, including cleanup, was 30 minutes. Like,
I was going to say that is like half of a record album.
It is so fast to do because I'm like, yeah, I did not prepare a marinade on anything. I am not kneading bread at 10 in the morning to
You're not soaking beans the night before.
No, nope. Okay. So I don't know how Hannibal had time to do all of this and leave no mark of his presence.
And he has like a full caseload as well, right?
Yeah.
Like he's also I want to see what Hannibal Lecter's day planner looks like. And then I want to see what the other day planner looks like.
Yeah. Well, they note in this murder that, this must be our copycat killer at work again because Garrett be dead. But it's similar only in the sense that it's antlers and it's at this cabin. But they find that there's blood on her teeth and like basically he took that rock, took the blood off of the rock, put it on her teeth so it looked like she bit him in a fight so that he could frame Nicholas as the killer, the copycat killer. That shit is not going to hold up.
Yeah.
You have no motive.
I think that will just confuse the jury, to be fair.
And I can't imagine you've checked out his schedule to know that his alibis aren't rock solid. Anyways, I found it ludicrous. But that's what Lecter did. That's how we did it.
Yeah. Oof, got that figured out.
But then, so they get back to the house. There's a whole like police. It's all taped off crime scene. Neighbors are all there. The mother of Marissa is yelling at Abigail, like, "You killed my daughter." Lowndes is getting escorted out of the house because she's there snooping around. So cops are escorting her out. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then they get in the house. Abigail goes to find one of the pillows Dad gave her, going back to your question about, did you get anything from your dad? And finds it is stuffed with human hair from one of those girls.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. And then Nicholas is there. Why is Nicholas there? And he's there to say, I didn't kill that girl, okay? I'm like, whoa, save it.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he chooses to, like, come at Abigail, like, pin her against the wall to tell her, I didn't kill that girl. And she stabs him in the gut with her hunting knife.
Uh-oh.
In defense, but also kind of deliberate looking.
Yeah.
And then to me,
if you weren't killer before, you're a killer now, baby.
See, so why was he at the house? Why was he at the house? And I think the cherry on top of the crazy Sunday is Hannibal and Alana are coming into the house. And Hannibal clocks that Abigail has blood on her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannibal says, I don't want Alana to see this. So what are my options? I could be like, oh, Alana, actually, let's go this way really quickly.
Yeah.
That's one option.
I can make small talk with her, distract her.
I could distract her. Or I could spike her head as hard as I can into a stone wall.
Yeah. I mean, we know she's prone to memory loss, so she probably won't remember this either.
Is she though? Is Alana prone to memory loss? I mean, Abigail.
Alana, right?
Abigail
sorry,
has
Abigail.
Memory.
Sorry. Yes.
No, he like takes the FBI
right.
agent and spikes her head
right.
into that wall and knocks her unconscious.
She'll be all fuzzy. There's no way she'll be like, wait, it was just me and you, and then I passed out. So, I mean, and you're such a nice guy. There's no way you would have done anything, right? I believe that for like gospel.
So that's what they do is they come up with the idea that Nicholas was just a crazy killer who then burst into the house. He attacked Alana to get to Abigail, and then Abigail managed to stab him. So that's our killer. Everything's wrapped up.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy killers. There's a lot of psycho killers.
And none of this adds up to like, you have created a mess because that case is going to be opened wide.
I would like to see the paperwork, Jeffrey.
I would too, because like, if there's a single alibi for those other two deaths of Marissa and his sister, if he has an alibi for either of those, then we're like, well, we still have another murderer on the loose. And also, those other two deaths, if you're pinning it on Nicholas, are similar, but like just to burst into a house to like straight up murder a girl, like that's not an MO of this killer. Anyways, bonkers. So Hannibal's like, hey, you know how Batman has a Robin? What do you say about being my Robin? That's the vibe I got from this conversation.
It's like, murder apprentice.
Yeah. He is a murderer groomer, isn't he? He's a murder groomer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a really important part of his character.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he understands that there are other serial killers out there.
Yep.
That they can't interact on the surface, but they're, sort of professionally interested in what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do this like, Italian Renaissance style where you clean brushes for the master for a decade and then you finally get, a piece of canvas. / also, if anybody needs a lackey / somebody to blame something on or obfuscate the situation, it's probably going to be Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, it probably is. The end, episode 3. Shall we rate this television program on its first 3 episodes?
Yes, let's.
How approachable are these first 3 episodes of Hannibal if you are a horror movie verse? It's really tough to tell. It kind of pulls the punches on the scares as a TV program. It's not really scary. It's more like bloody, gory. I think like the worst of it is, for me, the mushroom people. Like the one that's still alive because it's just like no flesh on the face.
Yeah.
Kind of grody. But I don't know. Like I'm just gonna kind of throw it in the middle just because of the gore and the cannibal story, and also the way it lingers on food and chopping organs.
Yes.
You're like, ooh. So I'll give Hannibal 5 out of 10 pork medallions with lingonberry reduction. To speak nothing of approachability, Cecil, how do you rate this as a horror show?
As a horror show, as a horror piece of horror, I guess. It's right in the middle because it is. Hey, do you like serial killer MOs? Well, this is serial killers killing serial killers who've killed serial killers. And it's like you get into the psychological judo of that. That's kind of interesting. But I do think there is something kind of glossy and procedural meets soap opera about this that kind of takes the scare out of it.
Yeah.
It's more suspense than horror, I guess is where I'm going with that. But I don't know, it's a for a TV show, it's fun, it's sexy.
Yeah. Very fun,
And
very sexy.
very again, it's like I think this is something that a lot of people really latched onto. So
Do
I don't know. I would say 6 out of 10. Um, web blogs.
I never finished watching all 3 seasons that aired of the show, but do Will and Hannibal ever get together?
Actually, they have a threesome with Gillian Anderson.
Ah! All right, I'm
Mhm.
gonna keep watching the show. Okay, let's figure out what movie we will watch next. You have a scare die, I have a style die. We will roll those up and see what movie matches those two things. Cecil, on your scare die, if you roll a 1, our next movie scares, clowns, or dolls. 2, a monster. 3, evil science. 4, family is the scare. 5, creature with no legs. Or 6, phenomena. What's our scare?
That's a 3.
Evil science. Okay, so we're going to match up your evil science with the style that I roll. If I roll a 1, our next movie style is top 25% critical rating. 2, it's got to have a one-word title. 3, wild card, whatever evil science movie we want. 4, black and white. 5, sequel, prequel, or remake. Or 6, something suburban. All right, what's our evil science here? I got a 3. That is a wild card evil science.
Ooh,
Okay.
we're getting right to the good stuff.
We are. We wrote a few. Do I want these on here? You know what I'm going to do? Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Yeah. All right. So the way our wild card works is we each pick 3 movies. That gives us 6. We'll talk about the 6 movies total we picked, and then we will roll a die and randomly pick that one to watch for next week. So what did you pick for Evil Science, Cecil?
I wanted, like in all wild cards, I like to do a little bit of a tasting plate,
Yeah, I like it.
of movies I've seen, movies that I haven't seen. So I've heard really good things about Infinity Pool. I've not seen it. It just looks very sexy
Mm-hmm.
and, space age noir. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. You commit a crime, they build you a body double and they tell you to fuck out of town. Something like that.
Amazing.
I'm very curious. The other one I picked is Megan or
Okay.
or Mithrigan.
Mithrigan.
I have seen this. It's been since it came out, so I'm excited to revisit it. It now that these sort of like, oh my gosh, this is a hyped up movie, to go back and be like, is it worth the hype? Let's find out. And finally, a movie that's a classic that I have never seen, and that's From Beyond.
It's a fun one.
Again, it's very, very high 80s
Mm-hmm.
Lovecraft.
Brad Dourif and all
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like there's another dimension that has space monsters that want to suck out your brains.
Yep.
So let's open that door.
Well, I put 3 on here of these are movies I've heard about many times over, but I have never seen a one of them. The first is the original Frank Whale Frankenstein.
Oh
I've
yeah.
never seen the 1931 Frankenstein. Or
Actually, I have seen it.
whatever.
I've seen Frankenstein. I've not seen Bride of Frankenstein.
So yeah, I just thought probably should get to that at some point in time.
Yeah. No, very horror homework.
2, one that comes up a lot. I'm just very curious. Repo, a genetic opera.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happens in this movie, but it's got a real cult following and it looks
Yeah.
bonkers. And then finally, I don't know if this movie doesn't look like it's any good, but it is a classic, and that is Soylent Green.
I want to say I saw it on like TBS
Uh-huh.
as a teenager. And I remember it being like, oh, this movie's so scary. It's kind of not.
Yeah.
Like it's more sci-fi, I guess.
Yeah.
But still lives in the netherworld, the periphery of horror.
I kind of only know the twist ending, and
Hmm.
so I feel like that can't be the only thing happening in this movie. I feel like there has to be a lot. I feel like it has to have more than that. So, anyways, I was just curious. So these were all kind of, I think, essential movies to get to at some
Yeah.
point in time. I think it's my turn to roll. Sorry, YouTube, for just burping into my mic. Okay. All right. So if I roll a one, our next movie is Infinity Pool. Two, Mithrigan. Three, From Beyond. Four, Frankenstein. Five, Repo, a genetic opera. Or six, Soylent Green. That's a one, Cecil.
Ooh,
Infinity Pool.
get a sexy Skarsgård and
Ah,
what's her name from Mia Goth, if I remember right. And I've never seen a Brendan Cronenberg. That's the son.
yeah, I've not seen any of his movies
I've
yet.
not seen any of his films, so this will be my first.
Just do a double check, which I think I know the answer to already. But I just want to triple make sure. Come on. Yep, it is for rental at the main places. How exciting! I'm excited to watch Infinity Pool, to dip our
Yeah,
toes into a little Brandon Cronenberg.
yeah.
Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Cecil, for talking with me. And if y'all have thoughts on the TV show Hannibal, maybe fill us in on where the show goes and that threesome that Cecil mentioned. Or if you have ideas for other movies that would have been your wild card evil science film, let us know. We're at Random Horror 9 on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Patreon, where we have public discussion threads for every episode there on Patreon, and you don't have to be a paying member to participate. So watch Infinity Pool with us this week, and come on back next Tuesday for a new episode. Have a restful night with no antler velvet in your mortal wounds or nothing.